Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for better success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. So, we're going to be concise and get right to our guest today. So, with question number one, tell us in a few sentences who you are and what you do.
I'm Mary Crafts, and I was a former CEO and president of my company, Culinary Crafts, which is Utah's largest catering and event planning company. I sold my company 2 years ago and started a new company called Mary Crafts Inc. And now I empower others to live fearless lives.
Awesome. And like you said, you had an extremely long career and very successful career of leadership and ownership, entrepreneurship. So we appreciate you taking time to be here. With all that experience, question number two, tell me what's been the best thing about being a business leader?
Well, it's only good if you're a good leader. And I think that if you are, because history is replete of horrible ones, but if you are a good leader or even a great leader, you have the opportunity to inspire others, to lead a group, to give a new vision, to lift the level of performance and existence. And that is the best thing about being a leader.
Very well said. Great. All right. Question number three then. I hear from other business leaders that a lot of time their people strategy in their business is more complicated, difficult, time consuming, if you will, than their actual business strategy in running their business. Your thoughts?
Well, I hope that's the case. I hope they're spending more time on their people than they are on their business strategy, because if it's only about business, they will for sure fail. But it is about culture, it is about people, no doubt in my mind. I spent more time on my people, my staff, on hiring the right people, retaining them than I did anything else.
Which makes you very successful, and you have a long history to show that. So great. So, question number four, what strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
I learned this from my own company, and then it's led to my new company, which is empowering others to live a fearless life. In that, I think so many times in business, we use the strategy of fear and we are reactionary. And oh, we're going to shift to this policy because I'm afraid this is going to happen. And oh, I see this coming down the road. So let's shift over here. Let's react to this customer this way because I'm afraid that they might come back and sue us. Or every single action in our business, we can trace back to being a reaction to fear. And that does not serve us. It didn't serve us then, but it particularly does not serve us now. Fear energy is palatable. And if you can get your company and your leaders to shift to a love based energy, I know in business we don't talk much about love based energy. We expect it should be something like a P&L sheet or an EBITDA or whatever like that. But if you can shift to love and that's your motivation, and you can do that as a leader, your entire organization comes after you and sees you leading with that. And they know that it's not just a fear based thing. And if we could get more leaders to do that now, we could shift out of the downturn that we're in right now. But people are so afraid. They're doing everything out of fear. What if? What if you did it out of love?
I see that as well a lot in the businesses that I work with, and the analogy comes up that that the old analogy of a sailing vessel without a rudder, where it's just being blown by the wind and stuff, and that wind being fear, and
Right.
not having the rudder. So I really like that concept of opening the discussion and focusing the discussion more on love and leading out of love, kind of a thing. So
I have business leaders all the time asking me, well, that's all well and good, Mary, but how? How do I make that shift? And I think there's a passageway. Is that it has to start with you. You have to be willing to be vulnerable, to show your weaknesses, not just always be dun, da, da. You have to be authentic. And if you're authentic, that's the passageway. You step into love. And trust me, everyone you're leading will follow right behind because that's what they truly want.
yeah, they'll sense it and jump right on board with it. Well, great. Well, question number five then. Tell me, who other maybe other successful business CEOs or business owners that you'd like to maybe do a shout out to, or you think might be good on the podcast?
The first one that came to my mind was Scott Miller. Scott Miller is the head of marketing for Franklin Covey, and he has several national New York Times bestsellers. He has a podcast himself, but he is one of the best leaders that I've ever known. And it's been my honor to have him on my podcast, and you would love him.
Well, great. Well, yeah, I know of him, and we'll definitely reach out to him. And I don't know if he'll be available, but we'll see if he is available to be on.
He'll be available if you tell him I sent you.
All right. So, question number 6, just a final fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
I think that's why I started my own company, because I didn't have a favorite one. I was all about culture and about taking care of people first, and the business part would just happen. And I never had a boss like that. So I started my own company. And my 35 years success um, proved that that was the right strategy.
And it's interesting as I've talked to a lot of people have started their businesses because of bad bosses, bad experiences that's motivated them to, like you said, start a business that has a better culture or does things differently. And sometimes that's a great motivation as well to start a business
Right.
and grow it the way you want it to.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it has been a great pleasure having you on and talking with you. Before we leave, can you tell people how they might be able to reach out to you or connect with you?
I think you have the link to my website, which has everything that I do from my podcast to life coaching to fitness, fit and fabulous after 50. All of those things are on my website, marycraftsinc.com. And you can find me anywhere on social media, LinkedIn. I just don't tweet.
Well, good. All right. Well, hopefully they'll reach out to you and connect with you. And again, we appreciate you taking the time to be on. And this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. And for more insights, you can follow us at Weaver Business Coaching on LinkedIn or listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. And we wish you the best success.